How's that? How does that sound? Can you hear this? Hello. Damien is here. Hello. Sunlight Scribe is here. Hello. That's more audible. Good, good. I'm glad. Oh, we have sound now. Okay. There's one setting I have to go into. Apparently, when I do Zoom calls, which I do a lot of, and I wear my headphones or my AirPods, um, yes. So I have to reset this. Help me remember that next time. But hello, welcome to tonight's stream. I'm going to go ahead and say welcome again since you couldn't hear me the first time. Hello and welcome to the stream. JC Henry is here, Shannon is here. Hello, Tiffany. Hello. We're good now. The sound is working again. I love to hear it. Thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh. Wonderful. Wonderful. Let's see. I've got right. Okay. All right. I've got myself a big thing of water. I've got myself a nice large mug of tea. Let me know what you are enjoying and drinking in the chat if you'd like. Gabrielle is here. Hello. Hi. Anne is here. Anne, hi. Hello. Yeah, Anne said Discord does that to me every time. Yeah. Tiffany. Oh, Tiffany says long time listener, first time caller. Tiffany, I'm so glad you're here. Hello. Hello, everyone. How has your day been? Oh man, I've had quite a day. I actually just woke up from a nap that I didn't intend to take. Hence the tea here. Ooh, Sunlight Scribe, that's a powerful combination. Double dipping the coffee and tea. Uh-huh. I hope that I hope you don't overdo it, but that sounds if that's what you need right now, then I'm here. Carmen's here. Hi, Carmen. Damien says, just finished cooking dinner. I learned cooking in the years that happened between create alongs. You know, I feel like that's really great. That's really great. Tim also has become a progressively more and more expert chef, which I get to enjoy the benefits of. Ginger tea for JC Henry. Wonderful. Wonderful. Oh, I keep wanting to like take a sip, but it's still a little too boiling. So but yes, hello, welcome to the stream. I'm Sarah. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat if you haven't already. If you're new to the channel, whether you're on YouTube or Twitch, because I'm streaming both of these, um, yeah, you may or may not be able to comment right away, but soon I think there's like a 5 minute thing, and then you can post, and I'd love to hear from you. Only if you're comfortable doing so, of course. You can remain silent and anonymous if you wish. But yeah, quite a day today. It's beautiful and sunny out. During last time, during our live stream, like it got progressively darker and the sun set as it tends to do. Hello! Oh, Funny Science Fiction Podcast is here. Hello! Oh, it's wonderful to see you. Hello. So yeah, yeah. I started physical therapy today. I hurt my hip back in near Christmas, and so today was the first time I could get in. So that was like a whirlwind of gentle stretching. So it was like pretty low key, but also, you know, a little tiring in its way, a lot in its way. But it's good. It feels good to be on a path toward feeling better. So yeah. So what are people working on tonight? What do you have with you? And are you starting a new project? Are you dusting off an older project? And yeah, let us know what to expect tonight. I am I'm going to be working on a few different things actually. I should put it over here. Here we go. I've been handwriting for season 2 of Girl in Space. And so, yep, here I am, the page I left off on. So yeah, there's a lot going on. So this is one of the things I have to work on tonight is I'd like to get I don't know, at least a few pages handwritten, at least. Um, Working on notes from your editor, says Funny Science Fiction Podcast. That's Tim, right? Deej says, I'm in deep plotting mode for the first mini series and season 2 of Waiting for October. That's fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic. I love to hear it. Anne says, I have 4 different short stories I've started. I would like to finish one of them. Good. Oh, Gabrielle says, ooh, handwriting, lo-fi fancy. Oh, wonderful. Oh, thanks, Tim. Wonderful. Flanny says, oh, I'm finishing lower back. Oh, PT tomorrow. It really helps. I'd never done it before and I didn't know what to expect. And I kind of had this like nightmare scenario in my mind. I don't know if you can identify with this or not. I have never really been athletic. And I had memories of like gym class and like forced running and rope climbing. And I was a little worried I would have to do one of those like running stress tests or something that you see on TV. And I was like, oh, it's going to hurt my hips so much. But they perhaps obviously they knew what they were doing and they did not make me do anything miserable. And in fact, I felt slightly better. So that was good. Tiffany says, forging ahead on a women's fiction rom-com novel I've sworn for years that I would finish. I know that feeling. On chapter 6 of 20. Tiffany, I love that. I hope that it goes well tonight. Be gentle with yourself. And for anyone else who's sort of easing themselves back into working on something that they've been working on for a long time, be kind and gentle to yourself. Um, I know I tend to jump in and I'm like, all right, let's get this done already. And I get frustrated when I'm not as fast as I want to be and it doesn't come out like instantly golden and beautiful. So, unless you don't have a giant ego like I apparently do, then you're fine. Oh, let's see. Good. 4 short stories. Let's see. Yes. Oh, Carmen says, I'm thinking of starting a new children's book. Excellent. I love to hear that. Damien says, more scripting for the new show tonight. I'm amused that I wrote most of Hannah season 1 with the create alongs, and now it's going to be that way with Scarlet. Oh, I love that. I hope so. Oh, that's fantastic, Damien. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you all for being here. I love hanging out with writers and creators, and I don't know. I look forward to this. Yeah, and says, yeah, the first time I did physio PT, I was so paranoid. Yeah, it can help when nothing else does. Yeah. I've been just like in pain for months, like not to be a complainer or anything, but like I don't know. I'm relieved that like maybe I'm on a path now to I don't know, something that helps. So, oh, wonderful. Oh, Deej says I just listened to the season finale of Hannahpocalypse. It's great. It really is. You went back 3 more times. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh. Oh, thank you. Tiffany says, can I just say your podcasts on writing while working a stressful job have been immensely helpful. I am very glad. Um, thank you. Those are very that's something that I struggled with for years was how do I make this work? How do I manage my energy? Hey, Moog is here. Hi. It's great to see you. Yeah, and you may have noticed I'm a little, I maybe shouldn't even call attention to this, but maybe I'm a little behind where I want to be with right now podcast recording. I just have, I think, maybe too many projects. I may be that person. Perhaps you are also that person. I know, Gabrielle finally went to PT after a year with knee pain. I know. And it's like they just like isolated it and like I don't know. I don't know. Apparently I didn't pay enough attention in whatever various health related classes to understand musculoskeletal goings on, but I'm very grateful there are people who did. Yes, the land of too many projects, Sunlight Scribe. The land of too many projects. That's yes, resident us. Um yeah. Well, I'm glad to be here with you. I think maybe we should think about how to navigate the land of too many projects. And maybe find a rest stop or I don't know, a diner. I don't know what the metaphorical equivalent of that is, but sounds pleasant. Yeah. Oh, Anne says I'm absolutely that person. It's a running joke how many projects I've picked up. So I'm focusing on trying to finish something this year. Yeah, so I guess out of that, some people have talked about very specific projects. Um, Other folks have mentioned I have 100 things. How do you determine what it is that you're working on? Actually, I might have a right now podcast about that. May or may not. Deej says, I do like having multiple projects in general. It's good to be able to switch tracks for a while if you're feeling stuck in one story. Deej, that is so. For a long time, I was just working on Girl in Space season 2 because I feel like I am, and I'm behind on it because I'm a slow writer and I'm coming to terms with what that means. Um, but I felt like I couldn't work on anything else because that would take away time from this. But I was talking with Maggie. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Point Mystic. It's co-created by Christopher Reynaga and Marguerite Croft. And I was talking with Maggie, and she said she always has a backup project just for days when she wants to keep the writing sharp, but she is just not feeling that main story. And, it opens up a larger discussion of, when we're not feeling it, are we burned out or do we just not want to work on it? And do we need to push through it? Do we need to take a step back? Um, it can be hard to, at least it's hard for me. I don't know if this is hard for anyone else. It can be hard for me to interpret what my brain is telling me I need to do. So it's like, oh, am I tired? Okay, do I then need to like just push through the tiredness, like, make some tea and move forward? Or do I need to take a break? And like, what does resting look like? What does it mean to rest? I've really been struggling with a lot of that. FSF, Funny Science Fiction Podcast says, what fire needs to be extinguished first? That's how I choose projects, lol. Yeah, I love that. Anne says, whatever's due first, then whatever I can work on without wanting to bang my head against the wall. Very valid. Sunlight Scribe says, I'm a very slow writer because I am a perfectionist. Yeah. What I put out there is fantastic when I get it out there. Boy, I was having a conversation with another writer friend just yesterday about done is better than perfect, which is a refrain. If you listen to the Right Now podcast, if you've been here in these create alongs with me, done is better than perfect. It can be very hard. It can be very, very hard to make your peace with something that is not what you feel perfect or 100% what it could be. It's just an ongoing struggle. Damien says, my new rule is to switch up the method I write now. Oh, so for Scarlet, I'm trying doing the whole series before going into production. For Hannah season 3, I'm doing my typical hit and run style. Hit and run. Hit and run. I don't know. That just really spoke to me. I usually call it like pantsing because I'm like writing it by the seat of my pants. But that also sounds like I'm like pulling down someone's pants. And so I like hit and run. That's good. Gabrielle Urbina says, no, it's not. It's not a daily struggle, but it is. Yes. Hey, Mike is here. Hello, Mike. Yeah. Oh, Damien says, I was about to say perfect is the enemy of done, which is something you taught me. You. It's funny how we can teach things and then like forget them ourselves. It's very, I don't know. I think that's why communities like this are so good because we can keep the wisdom alive in a place where we won't forget it. Yes. Katie is here. Katie, hello. Oh no, dog needed to go for a walk. Katie says, working on a historical fiction novel set in the late 1800s. Gloucester, is that how you say that? Or Gloucester, Maryland? Listened again recently to your interview with Barbara Kyle. So relevant and helpful. Oh my gosh. Barbara was the first person to reach out to me. It has to be 9 or 10 years ago now. She was the first author that ever reached out to me to be on the Right Now podcast. And the conversation I had with her was really the first interview I ever did. And I still very vividly remember it. I remember setting up a microphone and just my heart racing. And because I was like, oh my gosh, she's a well known and well respected author. And yeah, she was just so kind and generous with her knowledge. She was truly great. Hey, Unicorn Publishing Company is here. Gloucester in Massachusetts. Okay, thank you. The pronunciation is helpful. Oh, yeah. Mike says Joanne Penn. So if you guys know the Creative Penn, Penn, Joanne Penn's podcast, I think I have an interview with her on the Right Now podcast somewhere in the archives. But she says discovery writer. So lots more dignified than pantser. Yes. Do as I teach, not as I do. Yes, Gabrielle. Yes, yes. Lynn, okay. Oh, thank you. Unicorn Publishing Company is just such a good name, though. It's just such a good name. But hello, Lynn. Wonderful. Oh, and if you haven't listened to Girl in Space, check it out. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, it is okay, it is 7:19 here in the I was going to say in the Central Coast instead of the East or West Coast, but I don't know if that necessarily works. But should we like dig into like getting some writing done so we can get a good chunk before the sun sets and our time together. I don't want to say our time together ends because that sounds really really final. Before our session ends today. Yes. Tim says a writing I shall go. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, my tea is almost unhot enough to drink. So, all right. For those of you who have been here before, we're just gonna write together. You're welcome to stay here and hang out. You're welcome to, mute me. I do mute myself just so that you're not like listening to me type and mutter to myself and like scratch with my pen on the paper. So I'll mute myself on this end. You're welcome to do whatever you want on your end. If it helps you to play some music, if it helps you to, I don't know, a million things could be possible. But yeah, let's go ahead and we're going to go until 8:45 Central. So that is about an hour and 24 minutes. Is that math correct? Probably. To give us just a nice chunk of time to jump in. Um, I've been doing live streams on Friday that are a little bit longer, and I'm looking at breaking those up into sprints. But I think tonight we're just going to do one really long sprint together, if that sounds good. The dog-eared page cafe. Greetings from Canada land. Hi. We have a lot of Canadians in here today. Hello, Canadian friends. I love that you're here. I love that you're here. Thank you for being here. You're also welcome to continue chatting in the chat. It just won't be up on the screen, so it's not too distracting. So, yeah, all right. All right. Let's see. I have to remember how to do it. My memory is like so terrible. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to switch us to our writing time. There we go. To our little screen that says currently writing until 8:45 p.m. CT. And I'm going to mute myself and I'll be here in the chat and otherwise, and I'll see you soon. Thank you for being here, by the way, if I haven't said that already. others. Give you a moment to come back. And recover from a potential heart attack that you may or may not have experienced. When I initially sort of learned about or thought about even starting my own writer live streams, I followed the example of my good friend Chris. And one of the things he does is when we come back from writing, he says, feel free to come back in your own good time. And I love that. His voice is also very gentle and encouraging. So, yes, in the words of my friend Chris, please feel free to come back in your own good time. Thank you also, everybody who followed and subscribed. That just means the world to me. So thank you for that. So how did that go? How are people feeling? Kayla says, hi, Sarah and everyone. I got caught up with chores and my create along alarm didn't go off, so I joined in late. That is okay. It's good to see you all. It's good to see you too, Kayla. I'm glad you're here. Oh, Jimmy's here. Jimmy put in a virtual Alpenhorn in the chat. Thank you so much, Jimmy. I appreciate that. I also, yeah. Yes, definitely. Well, good. I ended up doing some writing myself here. Um, I like to, one of the things that like keeps me focused while I'm writing is, first of all, I handwrite. So I don't know if you can see here, write by hand, but then also I use a pen that I really love. So Tim got this for me for Christmas this year, and I love it. And this is a beautiful black ink. And then I also have these fun little pastel pens that I use for like accenting and things that I really want to remember or go back to. So I don't know, that keeps things fun and exciting for me because I'm a huge nerd and I love beautiful pens. So ooh, Damien says writing was tough tonight. The scene I'm writing was a bit awkward, yes, and hard to get the right flow for. Damien, I very much understand that. I very much understand that. I'm like awkward scenes for me come in all different shapes and sizes, so it's like they're awkward for me based on yeah, you want to sit with me? Book's much harder to write than non-picture books. I did like 6 pages today. That's 6 pages sounds good. Are you illustrating it yourself? I'm very curious. Oh my gosh, Kayla says, I finished transcribing my handwritten story tonight. I know you've been working on that for the last few sessions, and I love to hear that. And it's in all caps, so that's very exciting. Oh, Unicorn Publishing Company. Um, yes, I know you mentioned your name earlier. I apologize. Says I worked on my Substack settings. For some reason, that's hard to say. Ooh, a pen shop in Portland Airport. Okay, next time I fly into Portland, I hope I have a layover. Katie says, I did some outlining and genealogy research as my story is based on a real person / historical figure, and I found out a really interesting bit Thank you, Lynn. Sorry, a bit of background to round out some of the created backstory. Beautiful, Katie. Wonderful. Sorry about that, Lynn. Again, it's been a day. Damien, so going back to that tough scene, Damien says the scene involves someone talking about supernatural things that are happening to someone who doesn't believe in it. So getting a balance, yes, to not make it seem hokey is hard. Yeah. Well, and it's like which point of view is your audience supposed to identify with, like in that at the beginning of the scene, and then is the audience supposed to be convinced along with the character by the end, or is the audience like along the whole time for the ride and they're upset that this other character like doesn't believe yet in a sort of like, oh no, Mr. Noodle, you don't get it kind of thing. um so that can be for, sometimes for me that can be helpful to think about is like, where's the audience right now and where are they supposed to be and where do I want them to be and who do I want them to identify with? I don't know if that's helpful. um Carmen says, no, I'm not illustrating it, it has pictures of rescue dogs. I love rescue animals. Oh my gosh. I want to know more. I want to know more. A dog-eared page cafe says current project I'm typing on. Oh, an old Neo too. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, also awesome donut and coffee shop. Like Portland Airport has got it going on. That's fantastic. Mike says 1,300 words. Nearly ready to get to the final conflict in my book. That is fantastic. 1,300 words in like what was that? Like not even an hour and a half. Oh, you productive people. Okay, if you hear a creepy little rustling sound, Cyrus has I have some of that paper packing material that like I don't know, it has like slits in it so it like can stretch and it's not plastic so it doesn't like kill the earth. And he loves playing in it. I put a little toy under it and he'll like bat it around to get to the toy. So that's what he's doing right now. Hey, you want to come up here? You want to say hi? Yeah. Oh, Patricia says, oh, thank you, Sarah. Well, thank you, Patricia. I'm so glad you're here. Damien says, kind of a mix between the two sides of that coin. It's clear to the audience what is going on, but they're being filled in on things when the other character is. Okay, so I think the audience is in a natural sympathy spot there. Perfect. Again, like anchoring yourself, that can be helpful. Oh, the books are for a local rescue that you work with. I'll share the link to the first on the Discord after this. Yes, please. Anything that's like combines writing and like rescuing animals. Like that's definitely where my heart is. Mike says, I have to type like the wind. The book is due to my editor next Tuesday and I don't have an ending yet. Oh, okay. Now, Mike, is this for you an exciting prospect? Because hello, come on up. Because I know for me, I work better under pressure. And by work better, over the years, I think what I've learned that means is I'm able to focus more because there's like a looming deadline and it's suddenly urgent and like my brain picks up on that and it's like, oh boy, a challenge. Um, but also I could see that being incredibly, incredibly stressful. So I'm curious to know what that's like for you. Oh, thank you, Katie. Thank you very much. Ooh, the boxes from Chewy are cat favorites. Oh, customers ask for extra boxes for their cats to play in. I love that. I order enough stuff that I do have a lot of boxes. I haven't tried Chewy, but yeah. Boxes, packing material, like hair elastics, like cats cats love trash for toys. So oh yeah. Yeah. At first when I got my cats, I like bought little toys and stuff and then realized that Midori 20 years ago, you know, you have those like plastic milk rings that used to come on jugs of milk and like that was her ultimate favorite toy. For Cyrus, it's crumply paper and hair ties. So yeah. Mike says, yes and no. Having the deadline is good, but making the time to write is stressful. Oh boy. Yeah, Mike, I feel that. So do you also like have a full-time job that you like need to go to and you need to balance? Oh, you have a cat named Hemingway? Love it. I love that. Oh, I love that so much. Yes, yeah. So the boy, I bet I'm trying to like tone it down because I could probably talk for several hours. And actually I have some right now podcast episodes about balancing like going to work and what your energy looks like there, and then like setting aside time to write for yourself on your passion projects. And so um but yeah, I don't know if I want to like get into all of that in our last few minutes here together, Mike, but if there's some way that we can be helpful and supportive to you, let us know. I'm definitely going to be cheering you on. That is once you accomplish that, you will have accomplished a grand feat. And I'm very excited for you to do it. Um, yeah, let us know how that ending works out. Oh, thank you for the follow. Oh, there's so many beautiful people here. Fantastic. Lynn, I need to try that hair tie thing because I'm always in need of entertainment for my cats because they don't like it when I write. Like they'll snuggle with me and stuff for a while, but then they'll be like, "Hey, come chase me. Come throw toys for me." Mike says, "It's fine. It's self-inflicted because I did have it finished. Oh, but I didn't like the original ending and scrapped the last several chapters." Mike, that is also a that's something I struggle with too. I am notorious for writing and spending a lot of time on a large chunk of words and then deciding I hate it and scrapping it. It's the huge downside to pantsing, or what did Damien call it earlier? Hit and run. And I hope I'm not misunderstanding your description of hit and run, Damien, but I love that so much. That's exactly what it feels like. Standing in the street and then bam, a car hits you, aka an idea hits you, and you just start writing. But you know, I've hit and run writing, but yeah, it's pantsing. Yeah. I love that. I think that's such a I don't know, I think it's a better phrase. But I've done my fair share of that too. Some people know I don't know. I'm terrible at communicating where I am on projects because I get really self-conscious about how I appear to be producing or not producing. I'm terrified of being seen as lazy. And so I didn't tell people necessarily that I wrote an entire season 2 of Girl in Space. That was, I want to say maybe 75, 85,000 words. Um, and then scrapped it because it just wasn't good. It wasn't working and it wasn't in the spirit of where I wanted the show to go and what I think the show was at its core. Um, but yeah, doing that was really disheartening. It was really disheartening to like scrap that much work, but it needed to be done so that I could move on and get better. Would that have been avoided with a handy and professional looking outline? Probably. But there's so many shoulds in writing, and we have to find out what works for us. And this is something I'm actually looking at talking about upcoming here soon. That's not grammatically correct, but is when do we need to like work on ourselves? When do we need to change our methods, and when do we need to just accept that we have our own weird methods? Like how much do we need to conform to accepted writing practices and like make them work for us versus, continuing on the hit and run slash pantsing lifestyle. I don't know. I get better stories when I write by the seat of my pants. I get more genuine character interaction because I'm living it as I write it and I'm discovering it as I write it. And if I don't have that element of discovery, my brain just kind of shuts down if I'm not constantly stressed and challenged, apparently. I need that to write and to thrive. Yes. Ugh. Lynn says, my cat Jack decided he was going to do a power play and sat in my writing chair because I didn't feed him lunch early. Jack. Lynn also says, I chatted with another author who had 2 books completely written but not backed up on his computer. I don't even want to read the rest of that sentence because it's our nightmare. I think it's our collective nightmare. His computer broke and he lost both his books. Oh my gosh. Everyone, please, wherever you are, whatever you're doing right now, back up your work. Save it to somewhere else. Have a redundant copy. Oh, yes. If you have Dropbox, even a free account, that's a great idea. I know that pain of losing everything when your computer goes into that blue screen of death. And it's just, that's a terrible feeling. And I don't want that to happen to you. Yeah, Mike says I wasn't completely happy with it at the time, and I got feedback, yeah, that it didn't work, so it made sense to try and fix it. Yeah. Yeah. I know that experience too. Hmm. Damien says, sometimes I miss that Hannah isn't as innocent as she was at the beginning of season 1. That ended up really working though, and her voice actor used it to fuel a to subtly show that her journey and her tone. Yeah, character development is good and important, and it can be really hard. Like for me, I wrestle with like, who is this character becoming, and how does a person change? Because characters are people, we're people. How do you show change without the character becoming unrecognizable? Right. And what do people love and cherish about your character? Like, what did they fall in love with about your character? And then, like, what are you changing? And yeah, that can get really complicated. Good, good. Armin says, I literally just saved my work. Good. Mike says, I tried outlining. The problem was when I finished the outline, I didn't want to write the book because I knew how it came out and wasn't interested in writing. Yes, Mike, that is my brain. We are the same, you and I. Oh my gosh. And I've talked with some other writers and I've talked with therapists and other folks, and I think at least partially that's an ADHD thing. There's probably also a million other reasons behind it, but like my brain is interest, urgency, novelty focused. And if I'm not actively discovering, my brain just shuts down and it doesn't care. And boy, is that frustrating. Yes, Kayla says I agree with Mike. I'm a total pantser because of this. Yeah, it's I've even done it before. What was I doing? I was working on a project for something for someone and like they wanted an outline. And I was like, okay, but so what I did was I did the project and then I wrote the outline afterward and submitted that. Yes. Yes. Grand Vitality says, what if you're writing on Google Docs? Doesn't that automatically back up your work and connect to Google Drive? Yes. 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 You're good. Well, you should be good. It's up to you if you trust Google's servers. I mean, they're kind of a big deal, but what is pantsing again? So pantsing is writing by the seat of your pants. So it's basically making it up as you go along. Whereas their pantsers are often I don't want to say opposed by, that sounds terrible. The sort of opposite side of that coin is a plotter. So somebody who plots out their story and they know like act 1, scene 1, this is going to happen. 25% in, I'm going to have my, first riveting plot point. 50% in, here's what's going to happen. This is like a big plot twist. 75% in, this is the character's lowest moment and this is what it's going to look like. And then, 95% in the resolution, like here's, here's how this is all going to resolve and how everyone will either live happily ever after or be sad forever or somewhere in between. So like a lot of people will know all that stuff when they go into it. And for them, the outline is like when you put together a puzzle, you put together the edges first, and then their writing is just filling in the rest of the puzzle pieces. Um, Whereas if you're a pantser, you're like, you dump out the puzzle and you just stare at it for a while, and then you throw various pieces of the puzzle at the wall. I'm kind of joking. Yes, specifically for fiction writing. You can also, I mean, I've pantsed nonfiction stuff, like my weekly newsletter that comes out sometimes weekly. I just sit down and I kind of write whatever I'm feeling in that moment. Same with my podcast episodes for the Right Now podcast. I have a list of 85 or 86 ideas that I just constantly update. And when I sit down to record, I'll look through that, pick one, and say, okay, how do I want to talk about this? I'll write down a few bullet points, and then I'll just talk. I've had people ask me before if the Right Now podcast is scripted, and it's actually not. It's just me talking into a mic. And back when I started doing public speaking, I had to learn to weed out the ums and uhs and all of that. So I try to focus on that when I'm recording too. Yes. Yes. Lynn says if you have a Mac or other Apple products, you can have your stuff automatically backed up on a regular schedule. Yes, you have yours backed up daily. That's very smart. Yes. Lynn, I want to get to that in 1 second. Yes, Grand Vitality says, I need to pants in all caps. Fly Mew2 says, I'm a plotter. Yes. Damien says, for Hannah, I do a quick storyboard that I use as my Bible for the season, literally 2 to 3 sentences about each episode, and then I just go and see where it takes me. The pantsing commences. I love that. Gabrielle, you need to come on as a guest on Right Now. Have I not? Have I not hosted you yet? Oh my gosh, come be a guest on my show right now, which is the time and also the name of the show. Oh my gosh. Okay, talk to me after this and we'll get an interview because that would be wonderful. Carmen says I found nonfiction easier to plan. Yes, fiction I don't plot typically. Yeah. For me, I can do outlines. So I'll have like maybe a title for a podcast episode, 3 bullet points I want to talk about, and then, a call to action or a conclusion or, whatever. We haven't done that. Oh my gosh. I don't know what's wrong with me, but it's gonna happen. Good. Good, good, good. Lynn says, does anyone else here like to sit down and work for several hours at a time on your own work? Yes. Also, I'm realizing that like we're sailing way past the 2 hours for the stream, but I'll touch on this and then we can say our goodbyes. I don't know if you're familiar with the concept of deep work. So Cal Newport wrote this famous book about productivity called Deep Work. And he talks about, it takes us a long time to like get into something if what we're creating is really thoughtful and meaningful and takes a lot of energy and thought to produce. And so when I can, yes, I love to just sit. That's why tonight's thing was over an hour because I need to go more than an hour if I'm going to really get into something and feel it. Um, yeah. So the other side of that though is like Mike was talking about earlier, sometimes we don't have like 3 or 4 hours to sit down and really dive into our work. I remember back when I was working a day job at a marketing agency, I would go to a coffee shop and I would write for, 30 minutes and then go to work. Or I would come home from work and like hammer out, what I could creatively before I got too tired. Um, so yeah, that is an ongoing struggle. Yes. Yes. Wonderful. Oh, okay. 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 I'm gonna wrap things up here. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you for being a part of this community. Um, I look forward to these. I look forward to just being in communion with other writers and creators. I think that this is a really beautiful and kind community that we've built here. It's got a great energy. I love how encouraging and supportive you are to each other and to me even like it's fantastic. So Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. I don't know where I got that. I think I got that from Mr. Rogers, who is like my hero. But yeah, thank you for being here and for being you. In the meantime, if you haven't joined our Discord, we have a little Discord where we can chat throughout the week. Oh, good, good, good. Picks you up, makes you feel great. I love to hear it. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for being here. My gosh. My gosh. Otherwise, I am now doing these twice a week. So, in addition to our Wednesdays from 7 to 9 Central, I'm also doing Friday nights from 5 to 9 Central. So I'm kind of looking at what those looked like. Oh, Tiffany says loved hanging out. Fantastic. Yes. Good. I'm so glad you're here. Yeah. So if you're interested, do come back Friday from 5 to 9. I know the times aren't ideal for everyone, but we do what we can. Do what we can. All right. All right. Can you put the Discord link in the chat? Yes, I will do that just real quick. Oh, thank you. Damien says it was a blast. Thank you for helping me write. Damien, thank you for helping me. Having you as a mod in this community is so helpful. I appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna snag this Discord invitation real quick. Let's see, and yes, yes. All right. And I hate that it sets it to expire after 7 days. Okay. Copy. Here is our link to the Discord. I'll put it both in YouTube here. Oh my gosh, it literally says hidden use copy button. Okay, hold on one second. Ugh, okay. Sorry, Discord goes into what it calls streamer mode. Let me turn off streamer. I apologize. This is frustrating. Like I'm not sharing my screen. It's okay. Okay, there we go. Okay. There is our Discord link there, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it also on Twitch. Perfect. Perfect. Fantastic. Okay. So yeah, please join. It's free and it's Discord. All right. I'm going to run away and go fall down and maybe lay on the floor for my hip, but thank you again for being here, and I will see you all whenever I see you. Wednesday, Friday, whenever it is you're able to make it. So, all right. Take care and happy writing. Bye for now.